Hey everyone! How's it going? Today, I want to dive deep into a topic that a lot of people might find a bit intimidating to talk about, but it's something we need to address. Can having autism be bad for my relationship? You see, this is a question that many might have, but they don't always feel comfortable asking. And that's totally understandable. Relationships are such a fundamental part of our lives. And if you or your partner is on the autism spectrum, it might seem like there are added challenges or hurdles to overcome. But guess what? It's not necessarily the case. In fact, the unique aspects of being on the spectrum can bring some unexpected positives to the table. So, stick around until the end because we're going to explore together what it's really like to be in a relationship where one or both of you are on the autism spectrum. I promise it's going to be an eye-opener. 1. Addressing the topic and recognizing its importance. Let's start by talking about what everyone really wants in a relationship: connection, trust, a sense of feeling understood, and being accepted for exactly who we are. When one person in the relationship gets an autism diagnosis, whether it's you or your partner, it's natural to have all sorts of mixed feelings. You might wonder, will I be able to have a healthy relationship? Will my partner understand me and my needs? Will they love me for who I am, without trying to change me? These are normal and valid questions to ask. Everyone wants to feel seen, heard, and valued in their relationship. And just the fact that you're thinking about these things shows how much your relationship matters to you. It shows that you're invested in making things work, no matter what challenges might come up. And that's a big deal. But here's the thing, the road ahead might have some bumps, but it's not the end of the journey. In fact, with the right mindset and some open conversations, those bumps can lead to some pretty incredible discoveries. 2. Debunking misconceptions. Alright, let's get straight to the point. There are so many misconceptions out there about autistic people and relationships. One of the biggest myths is that people on the autism spectrum are incapable of feeling or expressing love. This couldn't be further from the truth. Honestly, this kind of thinking usually comes from a place of misunderstanding or not taking the time to really see the person behind the label. Imagine this: you meet someone who shows their affection differently than what you're used to. They might not always say, "I love you" in the traditional sense or show physical affection in the same way you might expect. But that doesn't mean the love isn't there. It's not that autistic people don't have deep feelings, it's just that their way of showing those feelings might look a little different from what you're accustomed to. And that's okay. The key here is to recognize that there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to relationships. Each autistic person is unique, and every relationship is different. Love isn't about following a script, it's about creating a connection that feels real and true for both people involved. 3. Characteristics of autism and their impact on relationships. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the characteristics of autism and how they can show up in a relationship. Autism is a spectrum, which means it looks different for every person. Some common characteristics might include being hypersensitive to sensory stimuli like sounds, lights, or smells, having difficulty understanding or interpreting nonverbal communication cues like facial expressions or tone of voice, or having a strong preference for routines and familiar patterns. So, let's say you're in a relationship and you plan a surprise outing to a big, crowded concert, thinking it'll be a great way to bond and have fun. But your partner, who is on the spectrum, starts feeling really anxious and overwhelmed by all the noise and commotion. Or maybe you decide to change your weekend plans at the last minute, and it throws them off because they were mentally prepared for something else. These are situations that can be challenging, but it doesn't mean they're deal breakers. In fact, understanding where your partner is coming from and finding ways to adapt can make your relationship even stronger. For example, you might learn that planning quieter, more intimate outings makes them feel more at ease and helps them open up. Or you could agree to give each other a heads up if plans need to change, so there's time to mentally adjust. 4. Unique advantages and growth opportunities. Now, let's flip the script and talk about some of the unique advantages of being in a relationship with someone on the autism spectrum. This is something that often gets overlooked, but it's so important to highlight. One of the most valuable traits that many autistic people have is their incredible honesty and authenticity. They're often very straightforward and don't really see the point in playing mind games or being manipulative. And let's be real, that kind of transparency is something we could all use a little more of in our relationships, right? Another major strength is the level of dedication and commitment that many autistic people bring to their relationships. When they find someone who accepts them for who they are, they tend to invest deeply in that connection. It's not about doing things halfway, they often give their all, which can lead to some of the most genuine and meaningful relationships you'll ever experience. Plus, being in a relationship with an autistic person can open your eyes to new ways of seeing the world. They might notice details or have insights that you'd never considered before. This ability to look at things from a different perspective can help both of you grow and learn together in ways you might not have expected. 5. Challenges and practical solutions. Of course, like any relationship, there are going to be challenges. One of the most common issues that might come up is communication. It can be tough if one partner struggles to pick up on unspoken cues or read between the lines. But honestly, this isn't a problem unique to autism. Every relationship has its communication hurdles, and what really matters is how you approach them together. One practical solution is to create a safe space where both partners feel comfortable expressing themselves honestly and directly. If your partner prefers clear and straightforward communication, try to be mindful of that and avoid using vague hints or expecting them to just know what you mean. It's not about changing who you are, it's about finding a way to connect that works for both of you. Another common challenge might be dealing with sensory sensitivities. For example, if your partner is sensitive to loud noises or bright lights, you can make small adjustments to your plans to create a more comfortable environment for them. Maybe you choose a quiet, cozy restaurant over a loud bar for date night, or you find a way to incorporate dim lighting at home to help them feel more at ease. These little gestures go a long way in showing that you care and are willing to meet them halfway. And remember, seeking professional help isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of commitment. Working with a therapist who understands the dynamics of autism in relationships can provide both of you with valuable strategies and tools to navigate challenges and build a stronger bond. 6. The importance of empathy and support. At the heart of every healthy relationship is empathy and support, right? And this is especially true when one or both partners are on the autism spectrum. Empathy isn't just about understanding what the other person feels, it's also about recognizing that you won't always fully grasp their experience, and that's okay. Empathy is shown in the small, everyday actions of simply being there and showing that you care. Support isn't about solving every problem or having all the answers. Sometimes, it's just about being present, listening, and letting the other person know that you're not going anywhere. Relationships are a journey, and the willingness to walk that path together, even when it's not easy, is what really counts. So, what did you think of this conversation? I really hope it helped to clear up some misconceptions and, most importantly, showed that having autism doesn't mean you can't have a healthy, happy relationship. Remember, love is about accepting each other as you are and finding ways to grow together through all the ups and downs. Now I want to hear from you. Have you experienced something similar, or do you know someone who has? Drop a comment below and share your story because every experience counts and could help others who are on a similar journey. And if this video helped you or made you think differently, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. I'm always bringing more content like this, so stay tuned for more. And keep this in mind, each of us has a unique way of loving and connecting, and it's this diversity that makes life so rich and full of meaning. Embrace your love with authenticity, patience, and lots of empathy. See you in the next video, and take care.